Okay, I know I seriously look like I just escaped a psych ward, but I did not. So, and don't worry, I'm not making fun of people that go to psych wards because I've been there, girl. I've been there, trust me. Anyways, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tawny Michelle. If you are new to the channel, if you are new, I am Tawny. Like I said, I do a variety of different videos on this channel. This channel is for your guys' stories, my stories. We do true crime videos, or we're going to be doing true crime videos starting this week. So make sure you got the bell on. I got one coming probably the day after you see this video. I do paranormal videos, my experience with addiction, your guys' experiences with addiction, things like that. If any of those things sound interesting to you, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you will be notified when those videos come out or when I post a video that you might be interested in. So anyways, with that all being said, I literally look like this because I have been editing all freaking day. I just literally uploaded Something Is Wrong With My Fiancé video, part 1. Well, the first 2 parts of it an hour ago, and all of you guys are like just going crazy, like, oh my god, we need the next part, like, don't leave us hanging like this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving you guys the other 2 parts. Now, as of yesterday when I was reading this story, there was 4 parts total, so I don't know, like, I haven't read them. I wanted to finish reading them, but I didn't want to leave you guys out of the mix. My teeth look so yellow with this lip gloss on, and the thing is, this lip gloss is like a gold lip gloss, so what's going on? So I didn't end up reading the other 2 parts of the story on my own because I wanted to wait for you guys so it would be fair. I felt bad doing it by myself, so I haven't even read the other 2 parts. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy and I regret doing this video. It's a little too late now, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump in to Something Is Wrong With My Fiancé, part 3 and 4. So if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, I would watch the video right before this. If you just go to this channel, it's literally like the last video I did before this one. Pretty much where we left off on the first one. Nikki, the story is from her POV. Her husband Mark, or her fiance Mark, is just acting like really strange. And where we left off was like her and her sister were out of town and they figured out there was no Detective Smith. And they found out that the Detective Smith was actually missing. Detective Smith actually like called her again before the story ended, and she was getting ready to go home back to Mark, who is acting very, very strange. So let's go ahead and get into it. Well, Reddit, today did not in fact bring answers. It brought the exact opposite. A whole lot more questions. Kelly and I had a fairly restless night last night. We were informed that there would be an officer stationed nearby to keep watch, but we never actually met him. We never actually saw him. I wanted to trust that he was there and that he would keep us safe, but it is very difficult to ever feel safe when you know someone out there is keeping tabs on you and your loved ones. This morning we reverted back to base level girl sleuthing, the internet. We did a search of Detective Ian Smith. Ian Smith disappearance. Detective Ian Smith missing Illinois, and came up with a big fat nothing. There was one article from his hometown proclaiming him missing, praising his police work and asking anyone with information to come forward and contact the police. There wasn't even a photograph, no social media accounts that we could find. It's like this man is a ghost. I got home 5 o'clock this afternoon. Mark was very happy both to see me before he left and for the opportunity he is pursuing. The apartment had been cleaned. Grocery shopping for the week had been done. Carry-out was on the way. It was nice. I took a fast shower before food got there, and when I got out, Mark had set the living room coffee table with candles and wine. Had my favorite show queued up to watch. It was like he was himself again. My Mark. By the end of the meal, I started to think that maybe I was overreacting to this whole situation. Maybe Mark wasn't being all that weird after all. We are both really stressed right now, after all. Stress can do weird things to a person. I began thinking that maybe it was time I filled him in on what had been happening, about the phone calls and the missing man who owns the phone number. I had decided I would tell him as soon as he got out of the bathroom, as he had gone to shower himself. I went into the bedroom to get ready for bed. I got the bright idea to sneak a pair of my panties into Mark's luggage, as a little surprise to make him smile when he got to the hotel. I know, who does that? I do, folks. I'm that weird girlfriend. But regardless, I wound up not doing it after all. Because when I opened the little inside pouch on his suitcase to hide them, I found something. A dagger. It was about as long as my forearm, thin, sharp, and with a really ornate handle. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. There was something engraved on the blade, but it was in another language that I didn't recognize. It was beautiful, but terrifying. For one, there is the fact that I have been with this man for 5 years and I've never seen this thing or anything like it in his possession before. It looked like something out of a movie, and I wondered briefly if it was in fact a movie prop. But why would he be taking it with him to Chicago? And more to the point, the second thing, the thing that really terrified me, was the feeling it gave me. As soon as I touched it, I felt this horrible sense of foreboding. It was like this darkness, like something watching me right over my shoulder. I quickly put it back where I found it and went back out to the living room to wait. I decided not to fill Mark in after all. A little while later, while we were back to watching TV, I missed a call from Detective Jones. I excused myself to go outside and smoke. While I was outside, I called him back. He told me that Detective Smith's cell phone, wallet, and car keys had been recovered earlier this evening, along with the riverbank running through town. He said that the cell phone was so water damaged that there wasn't a prayer of getting that bad boy to turn back on anytime soon. I thanked him for the update and headed back inside. At least I can sleep tonight knowing I won't be getting any more stalker calls from the mysterious Detective Smith or whoever had his phone. So why am I not sleeping now, you ask? Mark is sound asleep, fully packed and ready to drive north in the morning. I tried to go to bed with him, but I just couldn't. I can't seem to shake this feeling. The feeling of being watched, like someone is right over my shoulder. And that dagger, what could he possibly need with something like that? No, something weird is definitely going on. And now, I'll have the whole week alone to try and figure it out. I just wish I knew where to go from here. Good night, Reddit. Sweet dreams. XOXO Nikki. So that one was short. Part 2, girl. No, wait, sorry. I didn't mean that. Part 4. Where's part 4? Okay, so far this is the last part of the story. So I don't know if she uploads another one. I'll keep you guys in touch. Maybe we'll know by the time we're done reading this if there will be another one or not. But yeah, anyways. I apologize for the delay in updating, guys, but I assure you I'm not dead. Not yet, at least. Also, yes, the misspelling of my name on my last post was just a typo. I was very tired. A lot has happened in the past few days. I can't tell if we are getting close to answers or further away, but I know we are heading somewhere. Mark left bright and early yesterday morning with the promise of calling me as soon as he got there. By all accounts, I had a pretty uneventful day for the most part. I went to work at the kennel. I went home for a fast shower. I went to the bar for my night shift, and then things got a little weird. Early on in my shift, a creepy-looking man strolled into the bar. I'm always on high alert with customers, especially after some of the horror stories I've read about crazy customers attacking their servers in a fit of rage. We were pretty busy with the dinner rush though, so I lost track of him after the hostess escorted him into the main dining room. This was probably around 5:30 or so. Around 9, I see the same man come back into the bar, this time sitting up at one of the high-top bar tables way back in the corner, all alone. At this point, I again lose track of him, as I'm working on liquor restocking, which required me to go down to the basement liquor storage multiple times. When I finally finished with all that, I glanced back at his table and see that he is gone. But an empty glass and some money sits on the table, so at least I know I didn't imagine him being there. Finally, around 11, I go outside to smoke while I wait for the manager to be ready to count my drawer and send me home. I see a lighter spark out of the corner of my eye and turn to find the same creepy man is lighting a cigar and leaning against a very nice yet old car parked in the part of the lot that the light posts don't reach. It looks like a 50s Cadillac or some sort. I finished my cigarette quickly and hurried back inside. I made one of the busboys walk me out to my car when I left just to be safe, but the man was gone. I realized when I got home around midnight that I still had not heard from Mark. I tried calling him and it went straight to voicemail. After making sure the volume was all the way up in case he called, I went to bed. It was a very restless night. Every time I started to doze off, I would be awoken by strange noises around the apartment, tapping at the windows like pebbles being tossed, what sounded like footsteps but above me, which would mean someone was on the roof in the middle of the night. An eerie, gentle knocking at the front door. Of course, no one was there when I looked through the peephole. Around the apartment, but never in the apartment. Today, I was off from work in the morning, so I slept in as much as I could. When I finally dragged myself out of bed around noon, I still had not heard from Mark. I tried calling again, but again, it went straight to voicemail. I went down to check the mail and I noticed the same car from last night parked a little down the block. I wasn't sure as I walked into the mailboxes, but after a good long look at the car, the driver's door opened and the man from the bar gracefully stepped out. Did this creep really follow me home last night? Had he been the one making all those noises around my apartment all night? Was this the mysterious Detective Smith? I rushed back inside and locked the door. I called Detective Jones, hysterical, and choked out the story about this man between shaking sobs. He said he would be over as soon as possible and to lock all the doors and the windows in the meantime, stay away from the windows so I couldn't be seen, and that he would call me when he arrived so I knew it was safe. When he got there, he informed me that there was an officer searching the area for the car I had described. He asked me a lot about the man. I described him as best as I could, but truth be told, I hadn't gotten a real good look at him. All I knew was that he was driving a black Cadillac DeVille coupe. I'm no car expert, but Mark is, and I got a much better look at the car in the daylight, and that's a classic, also one of Mark's favorites, his dream car. The officer returned to report that no such car had been found in the immediately surrounding area, but that they would be keeping an eye out for it. Jones thanked the officer and sent him on his way, but Jones himself did not leave. He asked me very sincerely if we could talk for a few minutes, off the police record. I said of course. He told me that beyond the phone and the wallet being found that there had been no new leads turned up on Smith's disappearance. He said that it appears that they had simply been thrown off the side of the road into the water and carried down the stream, and that he is not as optimistic as some about finding a body washed up somewhere further downstream. Then he asked me the weirdest question. What do you think is going on, Nikki? I told him the truth, that I had absolutely no idea. I had never heard of Ian Smith a week ago, and now suddenly I'm involved in his disappearance, or at least I was until his cell phone was recovered. I told him that it was all very confusing and overwhelming. Then he asked me an even harder question. What do you think this has to do with Mark? I almost answered with the same I don't know that I have been using for every question this man asked me, but then I thought a little bit harder. I told him that if I had to hazard a guess, I would have to say that Mark and Ian Smith probably knew each other, or at least had known each other at one point. I told him that if they had known each other, Mark had never mentioned it, but if Mark had mentioned him, they must have not been friends, or at least not close. But that still didn't explain why he was calling me. Detective Jones smiled a strange, sad-looking smile and told me to be careful and to call him if anything else happened. Mark's mom called me while I was getting ready for work. Surprisingly, she didn't ask about Mark, which was nice, because I don't know what I would have told her if she asked when I had last heard from him. I wouldn't have wanted to tell her the truth and worry her, but I couldn't lie to this woman who has welcomed me into her family like one of her own children. No, she just asked how I was feeling. How was work going? Basic small talk. Then right before she hung up, she said something that threw me off. She said, "You know, it's funny, Mark went to Chicago for training. That's where he is originally from." I knew that Mark had been adopted as a young child, but I had never pried for details. Still, I didn't understand why this was funny or why she sounded kind of sad about it. So I asked, really? That's interesting. He never mentioned that. Why is that funny though? She sighed and paused for a moment before saying, sometimes situations like this leave some lasting memories. He wasn't a baby when we got to him. I don't know how much he actually remembers, but Chicago was not good to him. She quickly changed the subject after that, and we hung up shortly thereafter. So strange. I wish I had more to tell you, but I'm running late to work as is. I'll let you know if anything else happens. I just want one calm night and to try to get my head on straight. XOXO Nikki. Wow. Okay. So Mark is from Chicago apparently, and I kind of have to process this because, you know, this is part 4. There's been, you know, so many other, like, this person is a very detailed oriented person. They throw in a lot of little details. So I kind of have to, like, think about this for a little bit to really get some kind of, like, theory or thought process going on all of this. But as of right now, let me know what you guys think. Like, it might be different when you're, like, listening to it instead of, you know, reading it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think is going on. That is weird that he's from Chicago. My brain's just kind of blank right now. Like, I can't really think about all of this right now. It's kind of late, and yeah, but let me know what you guys think is going on. It sounds like there's probably going to be another part to this story. So as soon as, like, this girl updates her story, I'll be checking for it. It's not like a super interesting, you know, part 5, then I might wait for like part 6 or something and then do another video. But so far she's been updating it about every day, so yeah, maybe this weekend we'll have a part 5 and 6, and then hopefully it'll end. I don't know how long she's gonna go with it, honestly, but we'll see. So anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys want me to update you whenever she updates this story. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.